Good morning, colleagues and guests at the seminar in Rome today. My name is Nick Lester. I'm the Director of Transport, Environment and Planning at London Councils, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity provided by Alessandro Drago and his team in the Lazio region to put forward this video presentation this morning to give you a little bit about the background of the SPARKS programme, as I'm sorry I can't be with you in person. I know this is important to you, and we're grateful to the involvement of the Italians, particularly to Professor Andrea Biondi, who's based in London, that his knowledge of the Italian legal structure has been essential to make the SPARKS programme work. In London, the enforcement of our traffic and parking regulations is an essential tool to making London's traffic move. The road network cannot work effectively without it. And since 1993, this has been the responsibility of London's 33 municipalities. In the United Kingdom, most traffic and parking enforcement is now undertaken on a civil basis rather than a criminal basis. And the local authorities in London are responsible for parking and stopping regulations, for bus lanes, one-way streets, box junctions, and other moving traffic offences such as weight and size restrictions. We are also responsible for enforcing the London Lorry Control Scheme, which limits the environmental impact of heavy goods vehicles on Londoners, particularly at night and at weekend, for congestion charging, for the future London Low Emission Zone, and when the Olympics reach London in 2012, the responsibility for enforcing special regulations to enable the athletes and their supporters to get around the city will also be the responsibility of the London's local authorities. And of course, this issue of enforcement, particularly the enforcement of foreign registered vehicles, which I'll come to shortly, is not just an issue for the UK, it's an issue for other countries as well, particularly the smaller countries with big neighbours, transit countries and holiday areas. Even Portugal has a problem, even though it is at the edge of Europe. To tackle the issues relating to foreign registered vehicles, we set up in London the SPARKS campaign. And the SPARKS objective is to enable the civil enforcement of traffic regulations to be equally effective against all vehicles, irrespective of nationality. As far as we are concerned, this is a question of fairness for all road users, and the time for action is now. There are two particular problems with dealing with foreign registered vehicles. Firstly, we can't identify who owns them, and in the UK's case, and indeed in many other countries' case, the owner is the person liable for any penalties associated with parking and traffic enforcement. And indeed that represents an issue as well for almost any form of enforcement which is undertaken primarily by camera, because again the owner is the person to whom the first inquiry is made. If we can't identify the owner, we can't make any further progress. The second problem we have to face is, even if we know who the owner of a particular Spanish or Austrian car is, we have no way of enforcing the penalties against that owner when they're back home in Spain or in Austria. All we can do currently is to send a letter, and that can be ignored. That's neither fair nor effective as a way of managing our road system. The scale of the problem is significant. In the UK, we calculate that more than 3 million foreign registered vehicles enter the country every year. 142,000 foreign registered vehicles are on the UK's roads at any one point in time. And in London, foreign registered vehicles represent 3% of the road traffic. while most of them will attempt to comply with the rules and usually succeed, there are significant gaps in that. Foreign registered vehicles are twice as likely to fail to pay the London congestion charge as UK registered vehicles. There's a hard core of foreign registered offenders who abuse parking and bus lane rules, knowing that they are immune from effective enforcement. 11% of the foreign registered vehicles, that's about 15,000 in total, remain in the UK beyond the 6-month deadline before re-registration is required. Foreign registered vehicles are 30% more likely to be involved in an accident than a UK registered vehicle, and foreign registered lorries are 20% more likely to fail roadside tests on issues such as overweight or driver's hours or badly laden, because too many of their drivers know that they are immune from enforcement. We want in the UK our licensing authority, the DVLA, to play a central role in obtaining vehicle information for enforcement purposes. There are data protection problems, and that applies in about half European countries, and we are petitioning our Prime Minister, meeting and influencing our members of Parliament and government ministers, and responding to consultations to enable our law to change to overcome data protection problems. Outside the UK, we're campaigning for effective enforcement of penalties in other countries by influencing national and EU authorities to make the necessary legal changes. And there's a particular opportunity here for the European Commission to make an effective difference across Europe. Just at the moment, there is a golden chance with the publication by the European Commission of a green paper on urban transport. This is out for consultation now over the next 6 months. In this green paper, the Commission recognises that cross-border enforcement may be a problem in the future. We are proposing, and we hope that you will be able to help propose to tell them how this problem can be resolved. And of course, this is what Eurosparks is all about. Your influence and your input into the Eurosparks programme and your help in taking forward the recommendations will be critical to making the best use of this opportunity. Your next steps, therefore, and your help in achieving this are fivefold. Firstly, please consider attending the other seminars, particularly the final seminar we're holding in Brussels in January, which will produce a conclusion to the whole Eurosparks project. Secondly, lobby your own politicians, your government, your members of parliament, your ministers, and also the European Commission through your members of European Parliament about the need for change. Thirdly, please provide us with feedback on this research so that we can improve it and we can help produce a proposal which will work across Europe effectively. Fourthly, subscribe to the SPARKS newsletter via our website www.sparksproject.org, and finally write to us at info@sparksproject.org if you have any further suggestions about how we can be effective or how you can help us be effective in bringing about these changes within European structure and law. I hope the rest of the seminar that you're having today will be successful, that you'll find this interesting and worthwhile objective, and I look forward to hearing you in the future. Thank you.